it's time to finally do the impossible. I'm going to go through and try and rank every single Sonic game. Main stuff, spin-offs, RPGs, remakes, pretty much everything that involves Sonic itself. I've beaten every Sonic game, and most of them are actually pretty good. At least I remember having a pretty good time with them, but there's definitely a bad reputation to Sonic. A lot of people flat out hate the Hedgehog himself. So today, we're going through everything. Now, as you can see in front of me here, I have a list of all the mainline Sonic games, a lot of the spin-offs, the racing games, the fighters, the party games. There's a huge wide variety. Sonic has been a bunch of different genres, but as you'll notice, this is the main stuff that was released for consoles. And the reason I'm doing this is because if we count the spin-offs that went to cell phones, there was Sonic dress-up games, paint Amy's fingernails, or we're not doing that, okay? This is main games that are actually still available and accessible today. Now, where do I start? Where do we actually begin with the long history of Sonic? I think we should begin at the very start. Let's talk about the classic Sega Genesis games that everybody loves the most. Of course, there's the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I have to give Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm giving it an A. Yes, it's still good. Yes, it's nice that this game exists, but I still don't think it's quite perfect. Whereas Sonic 2, I'm a big Sonic 2 lover. Sonic 2, very, very tight. It introduced multiplayer. Tails kicks butt. Everything about Sonic 2 is incredibly good. I've definitely seen a lot of talk that Sonic 2, to people a lot of times in their minds, it's the game that basically, it's the embodiment of what made the Sega Genesis great. Now, Sonic 3, of course, anybody who actually knows a lot about Sonic discourse, anybody who's a big fan of Sonic, what you know about it is, of course, that Sonic 3 was originally just going to be one big combined game. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the little attachment thing, they're actually technically one game that they cut in half. So Sonic 3 and Knuckles, a lot of people kind of hate on this. A lot of people kind of bag on it and say that it didn't age well. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, that's so difficult, though. Do I give it an A or do I give it an S? I really do love it. I'm gonna give it the tiniest notch down, just because as much as I love Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it doesn't quite hit the same amount of high notes as Sonic 2. Now we're starting to get into the weird stuff here. Let's talk about Sonic Drift. Okay, so you probably haven't even heard of this, but a bunch of Sonic games, don't get mad about this, Sonic tried to rip off certain things that Mario would do. If Nintendo would put out stuff, they'd try and do a copycat from Mario Party, or in this case, Mario Kart. Sonic Drift, 100% is a Mario Kart knockoff, but I still thought that it was incredibly fun. I'm going to give it and its sequel a B. They're both actually pretty interesting. Check them out sometime. They're differently paced. They're not as competitive as Mario Kart. They're definitely not as well balanced, but it's kind of fun to just anytime you get a chance to see Sonic driving a car, despite the fact that he can run at the speed of sound, it's worth it for the memes. Now, here's the tough stuff that we have a lot of the Game Gear games right here. Now, Knuckles Chaotix, this was one I didn't super love this. Knuckles Chaotix was more of one of the more experimental games. Now, as you'll notice right here, I have S, A, B, C, D. So we go from super great all the way to not so much. I didn't want to put F on here, mostly because even the worst Sonic game isn't quite unplayable trash. I mean, there are some Sonic games that I'm not a fan of. There's definitely some Sonic games that I thought have been pretty lackluster. In fact, real quick, let's put some D's up here. Let's actually show you an example of what I consider a D. Sonic Forces. Screw Sonic Forces. I strongly dislike Sonic Forces. I thought the custom character levels were dumb. Everything about Sonic Forces absolutely did not work for me. But even as a bad game, it still manages to be cool. It still manages to have some fun art. The level design at times is very, very interesting. It's just not a super fantastic game overall. Now, what's another one that I definitely don't like very much? You know what? I do not like the Sonic Boom games. They did 3 of these things. Sonic Boom. Now these were actually on 3 separate systems. They're basically, it was the DS, the 3DS, and then the Wii U. Now these were all supposed to be the reboot of Sonic. A couple times, for some reason, Sega just couldn't have a continuous timeline. Randomly, Sega would just get on this weird bent where they were like, oh, we have to make Sonic for a new generation. Sonic was already loved. So everybody knows who Sonic is. People already like Sonic. It was weird that they kept just trying to press the reset button every like 10 years or so. But this was one of those like reboot attempts. Now, no offense to Sonic Boom. I know some of the writers of Sonic Boom. You guys are nice people. Huge fan of y'all's work. But oh my god, Sonic Boom. All three of those games. The main issue I have with them is that they were just incredibly glitchy. Like all the time I was falling through the floors or breaking checkpoints, getting stuck in death loops. Not a good game. But getting back on the positive, let's talk about these. I have a big soft spot for the Game Gear in general. So actually, Triple Trouble, love that on the Game Gear. It is short. A lot of these, I'm actually going to put a couple of these here. These are the Game Gear games. They're very short. They're still fun games. They still manage to be, interesting in their own right. But it's weird to pay like $50 for a game back in the day like we did, and the game itself can be beaten in like 35 minutes. And they're also not super replayable. I've always considered that a lot of Sonic games, even if they are kind of on the shorter side, at least they are replayable. You beat them again and again, you find better rings, you get better times, but some of the Game Gear ones, they definitely feel like one and done experiences. This is another one. We actually have a bunch of the really interesting ones. On the topic of handhelds, I do want to have this. A bunch of these in here now are actually the Sonic games that came to Game Boy Advanced. This was after Sega went out of business. They started basically licensing stuff to go to other systems. These were some of the games that I thought were interesting. So Sonic Advanced and Sonic Advance 2, I'm going to give an A. These are both on the Game Boy Advance, obviously, as the name entails, but what kind of struck me to them is that I really, really like how they were built. They were more zoomed in because I think it's just the tinier screen of the Game Boy Advance. They were trying to make it show there was more detail. I really liked the character models. I really liked the art. I really liked the graphics. And after going from 16-bit to having this 16-bit handheld, I really like what they decided to do with it. It made it feel like a different era of Sonic, even though it was still kind of the Sonic we knew and loved. Now let's talk about Sonic Blast and Sonic 3D Blast. This was so confusing to me as a kid because these games, they have the same art style, but they are very different experiences. Sonic Blast looks like this, and Sonic 3D Blast looks like this. Now, for some reason, 3D Blast is one of those games that I feel like people kind of frown upon because it was during that weird time period where, like game developers couldn't quite do full-blown 3D graphics. They couldn't do big textural worlds and stuff quite yet. And so this originally came out on the Sega Genesis and got a re-release, which was practically like a remaster that came out on the Sega Saturn. I own both versions of it, and I really appreciate Sonic 3D Blast. So where do I put them? I'm going to put Sonic Blast as a C, and I'm going to put 3D Blast as a B, because it's good, but it's not quite great, and it's definitely not fantastic. Now I have to put both these here. Sonic Adventure, of course, S tier. Now where's Sonic Adventure 2? Sonic Adventure 2, baby, S rank. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many likes this video gets. The truth has to be spoken. Sonic Adventure is beautiful. Those games are so full of memes, the text, the weird dialogue, the weird level design, all the times that people talk like this. That is so funny to me. Like, unironically, I love Sonic Adventure. But getting back to the weird spin-offs here that we got, this was a bunch in a row that were just very, very strange. Sonic Labyrinth, I mean, the puzzle Sonic, not so much. Sonic the Fighters, oh, no. Now, Sonic R, this again was one of the strange racing games. Like, I don't hate the racing games. I always just found myself confused by them because Sonic was so fast. At least in this game, he was running again. In Sonic R, he is actually in a freaking foot race. Props to them doing that. It's funny to me when he drives a car. I go back and forth on it. Sometimes I like the racing games. Sometimes I don't. Where am I going to put it? I am going to give Sonic R a B. It deserves a B. You know what? Good game. Now, Pocket Adventure, this was one that was actually released. Most people don't even know that Pocket Adventure exists. This actually came out on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I didn't like this game very much. It was alright. Do I give it a D or do I give it a C? I'm going to give it a C. This game is also pretty expensive nowadays, which makes it kind of counteractive. You can't even get it. But Sonic Shuffle, oh boy. Okay, so I've actually played quite a bit of Sonic Shuffle. This was, of course, released on the Sega Dreamcast. Sonic Shuffle was supposed to be another, like, Mario Party ripoff. Oh boy, is it an abysmal failure of an experience. It was supposed to be like a mix of RPG and board game. I give them props for trying to be original and try and evolve the idea of a party game, but ooh boy does it miss the mark. The music is bad, the graphics are bad, the mechanics are bad. If you find the game for cheap, it's definitely something that's worth playing just because it's funny that it exists, but it's definitely not something I would recommend to play on a Friday night with your friends unless you're trying to just lose them. Now, let's talk about this. This is definitely one of the worst games. The only reason I wish that I could possibly have an F tier is for Sonic the Hedgehog, the remake, also known as Sonic 06. This was the first time they really pressed the gigantic reset button. It was supposed to be like a gritty reboot. Sonic kisses a human girl. It's supposed to be like gritty and realistic. It fails in so many ways. I mean, obviously it's one of the most hated games of all time, and even recently I tried to go back and play it again because I'm stupid, and man does that game manage to actually age worse as time goes on. Unlike something like Sonic Pinball, I actually think that Sonic Pinball is pretty fun. I'm not the biggest pinball guy. A lot of times pinball spin-offs, everybody had a pinball spin-off in the 90s. Metroid, Pokemon, Sonic, everybody just had to have a pinball game for absolutely no reason. But the big difference was that at least Sonic's was fun. As I'm sure you can tell, we're starting to get into the stranger experiences. The spin-offs that are definitely of, let's say, varying quality, to be nice about it. Some of these games, they downright suck, but let's keep going through it. Sonic Battle, you probably haven't heard of this one. Sonic Battle was a fighting game. Oh my gosh, let's face it, the reason that Sonic's kind of fun is the cool level design and running around at the speed of sound. This game isn't super awful, but it's one of those things where I feel like I don't quite get why it exists. I'm giving that bad boy a C. Now here, which one is this? Sonic the Hedgehog. Is this the original? Why is this here? Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, you know what this is? I think this is when they did like a remaster early on. It's difficult to tell from this tiny little freaking icon here, but I think that this is the remake they did on Sega Genesis. I'm also going to put that one up, I'm putting that on the I'm going to put that on the A tier right next to the other because it's the same game, slightly better quality graphically. Sonic Heroes. Okay, so I want to talk about these couple games here. We have Sonic Heroes, and I also want to talk about Sonic Colors, because I actually beat these games back to back in the day. Now, Sonic Heroes is weird. It was meant to be like a team-based game, so you'd actually choose 3 heroes at once, and they'd work together to try and go through a level. I kind of liked it. It was my first time playing a Sonic in a couple of years. When I beat it, maybe it's just that I was craving a Blue Hedgehog adventure, but it really hit the right notes for me. It really managed to make me... I had a lot of fun with it, so even though I know that it gets like bad Metacritic reviews and stuff, I really just can't hate Sonic Heroes. I'm going to give Sonic Heroes a B, and I really do think it deserves that. Now on to Sonic Colors. This is a game that's very often discussed as one of the best Sonic games of all time, and certainly for good reason. It has some really, really good top-notch 3D visuals. It manages to be very, very tightly controlled. I really respect it. Like, of all the games here, there's definitely a lot of games in here of, different tiers, but I've always liked Sonic Colors as one of those games that manages to be so off the wall, but still functions. I'm going to give that one a good old S tier. And I mean, all the ones up here I think are just such top-notch experiences, and I'm really freaking proud to put Sonic Colors up there. Now we're getting back into the weird games. Sonic Advanced 3, I'm going to put that down here on C. It's just not very good. Sonic Advanced 1 and 2 I felt like were much higher quality. This started to be into the GameCube era where it felt like they were just kind of putting stuff out because they knew it would sell. Like, there was a lot of stuff on Game Boy Advance that was incredibly good. For those who don't know this, like long-term subscribers have heard me talk about this, but I am a huge lover of the Game Boy Advance. In fact, actually, this is totally unscripted. I have one next to me. I am always playing my Game Boy Advance. Like, this is not a joke. I have my Game Boy Advance right here, fully charged. Like, that's how much I play my Game Boy Advance. So I love Game Boy Advance, but there was definitely that time period where people were just throwing out spin-offs and sequels and whatever they could on the Game Boy Advance just so that they could basically say they did it. And that kind of is reflected in the Sonic Advanced games. Now, I'm going on here. Oh god, Shadow the Hedgehog, aka When Hedgehogs Got a Gun. God, where do I put this? Do I put this in C or do I put this in D? I'm gonna put this in D. This is one of the few games on this entire list that I think you should not play at all. Maybe watch a YouTube video of, but dang, do I not like Shadow the Hedgehog. Now on to Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush came out on the original DS. This game was actually pretty tough. It's funny to talk about difficulty with a Sonic game because most of them are very, very easy. Some of them you could practically just hold right and you'll beat the level. I mean, not really, I'm being a bit silly, but Sonic Rush, I'm going to give Sonic Rush a good solid B. I think it deserves that. Now, here's the weird stuff. Sonic Rivals. I don't really like Sonic Rivals very much. Sonic and the Secret Rings. Ooh, goody, goody. Is there? Yeah, and there's Black Knight. Both of these games, oh my gosh, just definitely during that weird time period where they were trying to make realistic Sonic. They were trying to put motion controls. These games are on Wii. Both of these games, I gotta give them a hard D. A hard D. Because, like, the problem is that they're not just low-quality games. It's that it feels like the developers themselves didn't care about making them have any sort of logical sense. They just kind of threw them out there. Now, you know what I'm going to say? A game that doesn't make sense, but I kind of have a soft spot for it. I'm going to give Sonic Unleashed a C. And the reason why is because the Werehog levels, if you've never played Sonic Unleashed, half the time you are Sonic the Hedgehog. There's great daytime levels where you get to run and dash and slide, and then at night he becomes a werewolf, which they accidentally call a werehog. Keep in mind that were actually means human and not wolf, so it means that he's a human wolf, or a human hog. Anyways, look, it's weird looking, the design is weird, but I just can't fully despise it. It is a goofy game, and I really appreciate the fact that it's just so bizarre. Like, I never looked at Sonic and went, oh, that guy needs to be a werewolf. Here we go. Sonic Rush Adventure. That one was I'll give that one a C. Sonic Rivals. Again, I just don't like the Rivals series very much, so I'm going to put both those right here. You know what else? I'm going to be really harsh here. I don't like any of the motion control Sonic games. So, Sonic Riders, D. There we go. Free Riders and Riders Zero G, Zero Gravity. These, I just don't like the motion controls. Not been a big fan of them in general, but those ones specifically. Trying to, no, thank you. Let's see here. Sonic Erasure. This is, again, one of those really obscure games. Only released in Japan digitally. Or it was really difficult to get this game. I'm going to give that one a B. I did kind of like Sonic Erasure. It was weird. Now, Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood. It's actually the one I pulled up here as a joke. This was a turn-based RPG starring Sonic and his pals made by BioWare. Yes, that's correct. The people who made Mass Effect and Dragon Age made a Sonic game. And you know what? Bold facts. It's kind of amazing. I'm going to give it an A because I dig it. Look, I'm a fan of RPGs. I'm a fan of Sonic. Somebody managed to merge them together. What are you going to do? I think it's pretty freaking funny. I also kind of like the fact that you still had to, like, run through loops and stuff occasionally. It was different. I kind of appreciate difference sometimes, even if the idea is a bit raw. Okay, so going into it here, Sonic 4 and Sonic 4 Episode 2. So both of these, originally they started off as like episodic games for cell phones. Later on they brought them to consoles. These are surprisingly hated specifically because of the physics. In a lot of other games, the Sonic series is kind of known more than anything else for the speed, for the accuracy, the fact that you could dash through rings, you could do jumps, you could do freaking flying around, you can attack enemies. It's incredibly responsive. This game was floaty, it was weird, it had this momentum system, so sometimes you'd stop at a ledge and then fly off it anyways. It was no good. I'm actually going to give both of those a D. Now, you know what, I'm gonna give them a C. I still think that they at least look cool. I at least respect the art style. Move that right there so it looks nice. There we go. Sonic Generations. Absolute S tier. Sonic Generations is fantastic. Good mixing of old Sonic, new Sonic, 3D, 2D combined together. I like the story. I like the goofiness. I like the idea of this like time travel paradox storyline. Sonic Adventure, just Generations is fantastic. Incredibly top notch. And honestly, I feel like it's aged super well. Some of the games in here probably don't have the best graphics, they don't have the best stylization, but Generations, I truly believe that Generations aged to perfection. All right, now we're coming down to the last couple of games here. Let's just throw out the S tiers, because on this list, we have 2 S tiers. We're going to put Sonic Mania, absolute S tier. Love it. And Sonic CD. Both of these games, super great. I love freaking Sonic Mania so freaking much. Sonic Mania, super tight, super great controls. Honestly, it's crazy that they managed to do a pixel art game justice in the modern tense, but boy howdy did they manage to pull it off. Now, Sonic Runners, I'm going to give that one a C. Oh, God. I don't really like that one. And the Sonic Spinball, this was the other freaking Sonic. This was the pinball game that was released originally on Genesis. I'm going to give that one a B. Lost World. Oh, God. I don't like Lost World very much. I can't hate it as much as Sonic Boom. Lost World was decent. Some of the more modern Sonic games occasionally just... There's so much style, but no substance. Okay, now Sonic Racing... I really like Sonic Racing. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna put that as an A. Hot take, I think the Sonic Racing games are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. And now they've done a bunch of them. This list is a little bit behind. There's actually the Sonic Racing Unleashed, Transformed. Now there's Sonic Racing Team. All of them are very, very good. Now, Sonic Adventure 2, why is this here again? All right, I'll put it up there again. I'm not sure why. There we go. Bam, look at all these delicious Sonic Classic re-releases. And Sonic Chaos, I'm going to give that one a good old C because I appreciate the classics. This is it. I've done it. I have managed to do the impossible task. I have rated every single Sonic game ever released for consoles. It has been an arduous task. Okay, I'm being silly. This was really fun. I appreciate you guys watching. This is one of those videos that for some reason people have been requesting I make this for like 2 years. I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with me talking Sonic, but there, it is done. I hope you all appreciate it. It was certainly a good time to film, and I'm going to have Happy just editing this all together. If you'd like to help me out, please just like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe share it with a friend. Do what you gotta do. Thanks so much for watching though, guys, and have a great weekend. I'm probably gonna upload this Friday, and secretly I'm on a camping trip, which is why you're getting this random fun long video. But I'm in the forest. Keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.